Okay, my name is Jesse Shirton, or Jesse Jimenez because I disowned my father, but besides that, I have bipolar depression and severe anxiety. Not a lot of people understand that an- anxiety is overthinking and racing thoughts constantly. A lot of people understand that, but a lot of people don't really know what it feels like to have anxiety. A lot of you may even say that you do, but I'm going to show you what it feels like in the head of someone who has anxiety. Anxiety is like having constant opposing forces inside of your head. Voices, if it may sound crazy, but it's a mental disorder. Just like having voices in your head could be caused by a lot of different things. So I pretty much have opposing voices in my head at all time telling me to do something because I think that it would make myself feel less weird or make myself seem better to other people. And then I have the other part of my head saying, no, don't say that. Don't do that. Just stop. Everyone knows that everyone knows exactly what you're doing, but then again, no one understands you. It's all going, and they're fighting, deciding whether to say or do something. Every single action that you do, dis- every single action and every single thing that you say, you have to constantly think about and decide whether or not to say. And for this video, I am going to take off that filter as much as I can. And even though it's like both sides are saying it at the same exact time, and it's so hard to comprehend that you don't know what's going on in your head. No one can truly understand anxiety because you don't know exactly what's going on in your head. It's confusing, and well, I honestly think it's going to be confusing for your entire life if you have anxiety. So you know that person that will not shut the fuck up. They just keep on talking and talking and talking, and they forget what. And after, if you try to put a word in and they finally let you talk, they'll forget exactly what you're saying. So they think it's not important. But that's because of the voices constantly in the head saying that you don't want to say something, which makes yourself forget it. You constantly make yourself forget things in your life because of anxiety, because you think that it's wrong. You think that everything that you say or do is going to be wrong. So, and then all of a sudden, that same person that will not shut the fuck up suddenly will not talk. They'll just sit there and just blankly stare into space, and you'll try to talk to them, and you feel like they're ignoring you. And and all of a sudden, they'll just be like, wait, what? Huh? What was that? That's because they're constantly in fighting themselves in their own head. So I guess I take that back. It's not two opposing forces. It's you and another force that another voice in your head that you cannot control along with your own, just telling you everything is wrong. It's like another person, the exact opposite of you, is also living in your head at all times. You know, a lot of those people are people that 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 don't sleep a lot are always tired and uh but they're morning people. People that are always tired but are morning people. That happens a lot because people with anxiety don't like sleep because that's the time at the most where they're not doing anything, and that's the point where all you do is think and think and think. That's why a lot of people do stuff. I just noticed this, so that's why I'm saying it. Fiddle with stuff in their hand because they're trying to distract their own they're trying to distract their own thoughts because they cannot stand their very own thoughts. That person that I'm sure all of you know it. I'm that person. I'm that person that won't shut the fuck up, doesn't get any sleep, and then doesn't talk at all. it's frustrating. It's frustrating to you just as much as me. I'm not gonna play the whole woe is me card and say fuck off if you're getting frustrated at me. It's my anxiety. I understand exactly where you're coming from because I also suffer from bipolar depression, and depression is living in the past. You're regretting the past, and you think that you can't move on in the future because of your past. And anxiety is living in the future, trying to decide what to do in the future, whether it be further down in the future or right 10 seconds from now. I'm trying to decide whether or not to say something or to do something or think something. Anxiety is not knowing whether or not uh shut up. Sorry. Anxiety is not knowing whether or not you're doing something right or wrong, because that you have the exact opposite in your head telling you not to do something what's right or wrong. And I am going no, I'm saying everything that's in my head. I am going to post this video initially because I know without even looking at it, because I know if I look at this video again, I'm going to regret every single thing I say because of my anxiety that will I will regret every single thing in my head because of my anxiety. Everything they said, I'll think, oh no, no one's gonna like this. I'm so stupid. Why the hell did I do this? And I'm just gonna delete it. Actually, I'm gonna do that right now because I have XSplit. There. This is gonna post as soon as I'm done viewing this. So, whenever you guys see this, I had just finished this because I know I'll just delete it if that ever happens. So in my head, oh sorry. I really need to say this point. I know I said I'd say exactly what's on it, but I really need to say this. So, if you're depressed, you're living in the past, and if you're anxiety, you're living in the future. If you're at peace, you're living in the present. A person with both anxiety and depression has never been at peace, never living in the present, or at least very few of the times. Is at peace with themselves and not constantly fighting with themselves, whether it be with their depression or with their anxiety. And honestly, if you think about it, both living in the past and the present, I believe that with a person without anxiety or depression, I believe that a person with lives more in one night than someone who doesn't lives in a whole year. That's like if you say, try walking in my shoes, that you wouldn't, and I know this sounds completely like the whole woe is me, but if you haven't adapted to it your entire life, you would not stand a day in someone's shoes with anxiety, one night in someone's shoes with anxiety and depression. It would drive anyone who hasn't done it for their entire lives mentally insane to the point of suicide. Sorry, I'm holding my mic. There's a little notch right here is starting to break. I need to go and screw it back in so it can't hold all the way to where it's loud enough. So, moving on. So this is an example of a time when you have anxiety. Something as simple as walking through the store that's actually one of the worst. This is called social anxiety, which usually goes hand in hand with any other form of anxiety because when other people are involved, you judge yourself when you have anxiety. Constantly, nonstop. So, I'm just gonna imagine I'm walking through a store. So I'd walk through, and in my head, I see someone towards the right. I'm like, oh no, don't make eye contact with them. They're gonna think that I'm staring. Oh no, the palms of my hands are starting to get sweaty. They're gonna notice. They're gonna smell the adrenaline and the fear on me, just for thinking that, or just for thinking of looking them in the eyes and thinking that they're gonna think I'm weird because of it. I don't know. Maybe I should go smoke a cigarette. I go outside and smoke a cigarette. It calms me down. I go back inside the store and try shopping. I run into someone else. And I think, oh no, they can, and I start thinking the same thing, like, oh no, they're thinking that I'm doing something weird, like, I'm starting to sweat because I don't know when to, or okay. Because I'm spending too long looking at the shelf. Maybe they think that I'm trying to shoplift or something. Maybe they think I'm trying to stare at them if I'm standing here for too long. Maybe I should go out and smoke another cigarette and take a break. Oh wait, no, they can probably smell the smoke at me. They're gonna know something's up if I go smoke another cigarette right now, because I'm sure that they know that just smoke, because I can smell it on me. I'm sure they can smell it on me too. So I walk through and I grab something, and I walk away. I get out of there because it's just too much stress picking up something from the shelf. I go into the checkout, and then I look at what I have as like, wait, what if they think something wrong? Like, what if they look at my checkout of what I'm checking out, and they automatically go to assume something, that I'm doing something really weird? Like, what if I'm picking up it just. Sorry, I'm driving myself crazy even thinking about it. I'm starting to like live in the moment, which causes a lot of stress. Like, what if they think something? What if they think I'm doing something illegal or something based off what I'm buying? Because you know, well, you probably don't know because you don't constantly question yourself in your head. Well, most of you that are watching this, at least. I don't know. It kind of goes like that. I really don't feel like zoning in the entire way and constantly think about that because I don't like handling the stress. Oh, hey, you can see my flex. Oh, no, I should probably move that. I'll close that down. I don't want you guys seeing that. Okay, good. Yeah, I have dual monitors, by the way. Let me show you guys. Which scene? Okay, see? Woo, dual monitors. Cool as fuck, isn't it? Okay. Uh, there we go. Oh, Jesus Christ, what am I doing? Being inside of your own head is kind of like that best friend that you always argue with, that you cannot, or not that best friend, but that close friend that you constantly argue with. Just basically that total asshole friend, and everyone has that total asshole friend. And if you don't have a total asshole friend, you're that total asshole. So just think about your friendship with, say, your best friend. You're that total asshole if you do not have a total asshole friend. Everyone has one. Just think about you and that person in your head at all times. Constantly. Constantly bickering. Constantly telling that everything that you're doing is wrong. Every single thought in your head, you want to slap yourself for even thinking of it, no matter what it is, no matter how simple it is, no matter whether you want to grab soda or water. Like, some people deciding to go walk out of the room and pick something from the fridge, it's as simple as that. For someone with anxiety, it's like, what if someone sees me and sees what I grab? What if they get upset at me because they want someone else wanted that thing in the fridge and they're really looking forward to that? Here's a big one. What if I upset someone? What if I make someone angry? What if I disappoint? That's what I'm looking for. What if I disappoint someone by doing something? Every single And you're thinking about all these things all at once. They never stop. Every single one of these thoughts, thinking that you're doing something wrong or thinking that you're going to hurt someone or offend someone or disappoint someone, all of this happens all at once in your head. And it's hard to comprehend that. Like, how can that happen? You constantly have multiple forces talking in your head at the same exact time. And you can't stay. That's why a lot of people with ADD and ADHD have well, a lot of people with anxiety have ADD and ADHD. The anxiety causes it because you're constantly talking about so much that you get off track in your own head. You can't stay concentrated for too long because of your anxiety, because you you can't think properly. I do not think like a normal human. I do not think like a person without anxiety. My total mind is completely opposite. And honestly, I know I said that I'm gonna say everything in my head. It's physically impossible because everything's going on so much. You can't talk fast enough to say everything in your head because it's not just one thing constantly going on in your head that you think about. You're thinking about so many things all at once. And it's just it's a hard concept to grasp. It really, really is. And I don't think any of you guys could understand it by just watching this one video, by just listening to me. But I hope, the reason why I'm making this video, I hope that you guys not completely fully understand it, but gain a certain respect and a certain tolerance for people who do. Because, god damn it, did I even say that? Fuck! Okay, so yeah, that's the point of this video. So what I was saying is that I know this was like 5 minutes ago, but a person with both depression and anxiety living in the past and the future has lived... Actually, I did say that. See, you always question yourself when you have anxiety. You're constantly questioning yourself whether something's right or not. You can never tell with yourself. Actually, let me see. Is that any better? Actually, I think that's a lot... Yeah, that's a hell of a lot better. Except it doesn't have the windscreen. I think I might have to put it back on. Actually, what if I just go like, what if, here. Okay, you guys are gonna have to just, hold up. Okay, I'm just gonna still hold it. It's annoying the fuck out of me. Okay. Oh, sorry, back on track. I also have ADD and ADHD. In case you guys haven't already realized, it's a symptom of anxiety. Um, and honestly, you can have a life, a personality made out of test tubes and pills and mountains of different prescriptions, and you can never cure anxiety. You can never grow out of anxiety. It's a certain way that a brain is encoded to work in your own head. It's a certain way that you think. As much as you try, you cannot change the way that your mind works. And just certain people's minds are encoded, I'm such a nerd, are just slightly different, that you just cannot stop thinking, you cannot stop judging yourself, you cannot stop questioning yourself. It's almost like... No, I already did that one. Basically, anxiety is some tough shit. And I sound like the whole woe is me card, but it is. It honestly is. And I don't feel bad at myself for it. Honestly, very occasionally, but sometimes I think it's a blessing being able to think about my own thoughts just be able to get lost in my imagination, which it doesn't last for long because you get off track. And with depression put into there as well, it's like depression inside of your head as well as anxiety is that depression occur you relapse, and the depressed thoughts happen so much more often because you're constantly lost in your thoughts. And if you have bad enough depression, it's bound to pop up very frequently because you get lost in your thoughts so much. It's just bound to happen. And it's very difficult for it not to. Sure, medication and therapy and stuff like that can make it so you can cope with it, but it will never stop. That's why I say that I sometimes think it's a blessing because I'm coping with it. I can manage with it. I can manage my life with it. I'm starting to learn that. Let's no, I want to turn this into a video series of some sorts. Uh, like like constantly talking about a different topic in life, and eventually when I get at least 20 people that are actually come and talk to me on the comments or anywhere I post this, I'm gonna do Facebook, I'm gonna link on Instagram, I'm, oh shit, whatever, I'm gonna post on YouTube. I have a secret Instagram page based off, oh, I haven't been on there I should probably check it out. I'll do that after this video. But I have a secret Instagram page, fairly popular, that I think that is where I'm going to get the most out of this, is because people who actually want to hear about it. That eventually it can grow from there, and I want it to be able to talk about people with this. Turn this into a whole web series. Maybe not a long one, maybe 7, 8, 9, 10 videos. Maybe I'll go on from there. But I want to talk about with as much as I can, and hopefully the point of this isn't to become popular. It's to spread as much understanding of the disease and spread it as much as I can. So maybe if I can make the change in one person's life to know that that friend with anxiety, to be able to understand them and truly understand how, or truly understand what they go through, to be able to help them, which would help two people, which eventually would help them uh, uh, cope with their anxiety, which they can go help someone else, and hopefully cause a chain reaction to help as many people as possible. That's my goal for for these videos that I'm going to be posting. I'm also going to be talking about depression and bipolar depression, probably both separate. I'm going to be talking about basically as much as I can. I'm going to be talking about pretty much everything that goes on in my, not like everything that goes on in my life, everything that can make a difference. I'm going to be talking about suicide. I'm going to be talking about self-harm. I'm going to be talking about love and sex and things that make the world go round. And honestly, I'm just gonna, just for shits and giggles, because I don't want all my videos to be completely serious. I want to add something or fun and intriguing to it. Well, let me talk about love and sex actually right now. Just a brief thing, and that can be my next video. Can be about love and sex, and I'll give you a sneak preview. I don't think that sex should be taboo at all. In America, it is. In a lot of European countries, it's not taboo at all. It's actually very common to openly talk about sex with a stranger. Well, not necessarily with a stranger, but with a friend, just openly talk about sex. Um, I think that sex is something that sure should be shared and be intimate and personal, but also be able to openly, like, you don't, because I don't believe in things like slut shaming and labels and stuff like that. Sure, I joke around about labels a lot, but truly labeling someone and categorizing them in that label. Like, honestly, if someone wants to sleep around, it's their lives. Let them do what they want. How does it affect you? It doesn't. I'm just gonna straight up say it doesn't. I don't care what you say. It does not affect you. Say if you think that if you're a girl, and there's this other girl that you consider a slut that slept with your boyfriend. It wasn't her. She was a, yes, it was not her fault. it was his fault for not being faithful to you. She didn't seduce, well, she might have seduced him. Who gives a fuck? He's the one who fell to it. He's the one that you have to deal with, not the person that you consider a slut. Let them live their own lives. You don't even have to like the person. Sure, I'd appreciate it if you do, well, not necessarily like, but understand the person, but you don't have to. Just let them live their own lives. That's why I'm such an advocate for human rights and for gay marriage and all those things. Let them live their own lives. Let them do what they want. If you think that it's going to ruin their lives, let them ruin their lives. Obviously, they don't think that, or they wouldn't be doing it. Just food for thought. And see, my anxiety completely made me go completely off track. But, oh well. Well, this video, I think, has gone long enough for now. I don't want them to be too long, even though it probably was, so people can actually sit there and watch the entire thing. So, I'm going to say, peace out. So, peace out.